I got to be honest with you. I was kind of dragging my feet this morning. I was still tired from the previous day. I didn't really get that good of a night's sleep, and my alarm clock just seemed to go off a little too early. Maybe you've been there before. Well, in Judges chapter 4, we're introduced to a woman of Israel named Deborah. Now, we should have probably never met her in the first place, except that God used her to light a fire under a man of Israel by the name of Barak. Now, at this time, Israel was under the control of Jabin, a king of Canaan. And Jabin's army was commanded by a man named Sisera. And Sisera oversaw a pretty impressive operation that included 900 chariots made of iron, pretty high tech stuff for the day. Well, God had called on Barak, the man of Israel, to gather Israel's army because he was planning on giving the Canaanite people into the hands of Israel. But Barak was dragging his feet. He was fearful, probably felt unprepared, overmatched, and just wasn't getting the job done. And so Deborah, the woman of Israel, summons him. And she says to him, "What's going on, Barak? Has not God commanded you to go out to battle against Sisera?" And again, Barak drags his feet and says, "Well, I'll go out if you go out with me." And so Deborah says, "Fine. If that's what it's going to take, fine, I'll go with you. Just know this, that when victory is given to Israel, Barak, you will not be given the honor. Instead, that will go to a woman of Israel." Well, the day of battle finally comes, and again, Barak is dragging his feet. And so Deborah goes up to him and says to him, "Up! Does not the Lord go out before you?" Maybe you've had days that have begun with you kind of dragging your feet. Maybe it's been out of fatigue. Maybe it's been out of fear. Or maybe even out of something like apathy. You're just not sure that today is that big of a deal, that much is going to come out of it. Well, days like that, Deborah's statement can be helpful for us. Does not the Lord go out before you? Well, heck yes, he does. Paul says these words in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. "Therefore, my beloved brothers, be steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that in the Lord your labor is not in vain." Well, Israel on that day of battle would go on to defeat Canaan. Except just as Deborah had foretold, the honor was not given to Barak. Because Sisera's life was not ended with the hands of Barak, but Sisera's life came to an end in the hands of a woman of Israel named Jael. I'm not going to share with you how Jael defeated Sisera. You can read about that on your own in Judges chapter 4. Let me just tell you this, that after reading that, you're not going to want to take Jael with you anytime soon on a camping trip. But after Israel's victory, Judges 5 shares with us a song of triumph that they sing. And one of the lines in that victory song goes like this: "March on, my soul, with strength." On days where you're kind of dragging your feet, Deborah's question again is helpful. Does not the Lord go out before you? Well, heck yes, he does. So grab your extra cup of coffee, hop on the treadmill for a few minutes, whatever it takes, and go out. And say in your heart, "March on, my soul, with strength." Because you can count on this. that today the Lord is going to use you.